From Nashville, Tennessee, inside the Noize podcast with your host, Jenna Hydeman. Here's Jenna.
Right up. All right, scratch. Take 7. Go.
All right. Welcome back to Inside the Noize. We have Nick Alligood here.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah. We're going to start off by making some noise for something good that happened with your week. Since we're called Inside the Noize, we start off every podcast by making some noise about something good that happened.
Okay. So I mean, my new single's available for pre-order. That's exciting.
There you go.
Let's make some noise about that. It's been
What's the single called?
Drinkin You Back.
Drinkin You Back.
Pretty excited about it. It's a follow-up from my last single that we put out, and we've got a new team behind it and everything that's going on, so I'm pretty excited about it.
That's super exciting.
Yeah.
Woo.
Thank you. Can I clap for myself? There we go.
All right. My good thing is I just got back from St. Louis.
Okay.
I was there working a Warrior Dash.
Okay.
And I go and I set up these events, and we had the dream team out there this weekend.
That's cool.
And so it was just the dream team of people you've worked with all summer, all at one event.
That's great.
So it was really fun to be there.
I'm actually in St. Louis next weekend.
Are you?
Yep.
Playing a show?
Mm-hmm.
Where at?
He's
somewhere in St. Louis.
Game 6.
All right.
Game 6. That's what it's called. Game
Okay.
6. It's right behind the stadium.
All right. Are you a Cardinals fan?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Braves.
Well,
Braves by the way I was raised, Yankees by heart.
Okay. All right. Okay, so I'm going to tell you this. This is kind of off topic, but I was in St. Louis flying back this last weekend, and I have this new thing I do. Well, I haven't done it yet, but you're going to tell me how you feel about it as a guy. Okay, so I was in the airport, and there was this guy in the airport, too. And he was going to Nashville from St. Louis as well. And I was like, he's kind of cute. So I had this idea that I was going to airdrop him a photo. But I didn't know who he was. I wasn't sure. And it was going to be a weird photo, something really weird.
No, I actually have a funny story about that. There's a person in town that's a girl named Katie. She's a really big social media influencer here in town. And she actually does that as a joke all the events. Yeah, so she showed up. I played the Big Whiskey Jam showcase at Basement East.
Yeah.
And she was there, and she just dropped a random picture of her making a weird face to 150 people.
I think it'd be really funny to do in a bar and wait for to see who you airdrop
for somebody to
and
find
wait for
you
the reaction.
Too. That's what you
Or
should
they
do. You
come
should
up.
leave them hints.
Oh,
just send them a picture and be like, "Where am I at?" And then just drop it to them and have them come find you.
Yeah, I might give it a try. I thought it might be a little too creepy, but
I
also think I might have known the guy.
I don't know. Well, see, then that wouldn't have been weird because
it would have because I didn't really know him.
So it could have made things even more weird.
Would have made it more weird. Would have been transfer.
That could go either way, especially in an airport. That's I don't know, because when I'm in the airport, I'm typically really just angry and just out of it. So I probably just wouldn't have paid any attention to it. But that's just
I don't know.
me.
I'm gonna give it a shot and I'll update you on it.
Do
I'm gonna
it.
come watch one of your shows and airdrop
To everyone. Airdrop to everybody on stage too.
everyone. You guys all ding. Okay, so before you tell us about you, I'm gonna tell you about you via your social media.
Okay.
But I didn't really find anything too creepy.
I'm not a creepy person, I don't feel.
Yeah. So what I got out of your Instagram feed, first off, you have a really cute dog.
Thank you very much.
What's the name of the dog?
Gibson.
How long have you had Gibson?
I've had Gibson for 8 months. He just turned a year old June 26th.
Oh, did you have a birthday party?
No, actually, I was on vacation, and that was the first time I've ever left him, ever. For more than 24, 48 hours, going on the road for the weekend or whatever, and kind of purposely because, that's the beginning of his life is I used to be a dog trainer, and so getting into my past, that's kind of an important thing is to spend a lot of time with him, and I had to leave him for 12 days, and his birthday was right in the middle of it.
Oh, no.
I was like, no. Everybody back at the apartment was really sad about it because we always find a reason to throw a party. So
Aww.
a dog's first birthday definitely would have been a good one. But
okay, I think I'm going to creep you out here too. And I did this. Do you live at the same apartment complex as Spencer Crandall?
I do. That's one of my best friends. Actually,
Okay.
I'm going to play.
That's what I found out from your social media as well.
Yeah. Myself, Spencer, Tyler Rich.
Yeah. And does Scott live there?
No, Scott
No.
does. I mean, he might as well, but
Okay. That's also what I found out via your social media feed. Also, you like to golf.
Yep.
And
golf and baseball was my main sport, but
okay.
can't really play baseball at 28 years old anymore.
Yeah, you
Not
play like
unless
slow
I'm
pitch softball.
I miss it. Right, I'm not going. To
You'd
that.
be one of those guys.
I'd rather be out on the golf course. There's more deals made on a golf course than anywhere else, so it's not a bad place, not a bad trade to have.
Not a bad trade. All right, do you want to give us your story and just like how you came to Nashville, how you got into music, and just your...
We got a minute?
I mean, it can be as long or as short as you want it to be.
All right, so right out of high school, so I went to Terrell Academy, which is a very small single-A private school in Dawson, Georgia. And it's actually Cole Swindell went to the same high school. And we're from he's from Brownwood, I'm from Albany. But music was always a part of my life. It always has been, and I'm kind of the black sheep of the family. I'm the only one in my family that's inclined, for lack of a better word, in the music area. And so young age, I started beating on things and whatever. My mom was like, oh my gosh, he's got ADD. He's beating on stuff. Like, I got the child. And so she started noticing that it was like I was just more and more avid about getting a drum set or getting something. And we were really big into church. And I used to go to this thing on Sunday night called MYF. And at the end of MYF, you go in, you break down into groups. You can go learn an instrument, or you can go to choir, or you can go to drama, or, you know, like cooking class type stuff. And I went to drums. And mainly I only went to drums, not only from like, because I really wanted to, but the teacher was the meteorologist for like the big hometown thing. And I don't know why, I just thought that was really cool. And so I ended up going to one class. And my parents bought me a drum set, and I quit. I learned, and I actually was the main service drummer and youth service drummer for my church for 7 years.
That's so cool.
Yeah, we did that until I graduated, and obviously, as you get into your college years, you slip away from going to church as much as you should and whatnot. And so, of course, I had to part ways on great terms. And when I was in college, one of my buddies from high school just happened to call me up, and he was like, I know this sounds weird. And actually, we were in quartet together. And I was definitely more jock, and I mean, I played everything: football, baseball, basketball, cross country, track. But we were always trying to find ways to get out of school.
Yeah.
And we could all kind of sing, so we joined the quartet. And anyways, we actually won region that year, and that striked in this guy's head that he could sing. We couldn't sing, like not at all. But so he called me. He's like, "Yo, come play drums for me. Let's start a band." And at the time, the guy that was supposed to play guitar had a full-time job and was in school as well, and he couldn't do it. So I actually learned how to play guitar, and we started off my very first live show ever for country music was at a Mellow Mushroom in Albany, Georgia.
Wow.
And 2 hours before we played, they sold out of 3 different liquors and 2 different types of beers, and they're like, you guys are playing here every single weekend.
That's awesome.
And we thought that was just the coolest thing in the world. Like, Mellow Mushroom, anywhere that was going to pay us money to play was like really cool. And so it kind of progressed, and then we named the band, and it was a band called Highway 55, and we started gaining a lot of traction in the college scene, and we played Valdosta and Tifton and Macon, and as that kind of kept going, then we got a big opportunity to open up for Brantley Gilbert at the Civic Center, where I'm from, and I actually quit the band the day before. Me and the lead singer got into a big argument, and kind of ruined the band ruined our friendship, and it just wasn't working anymore, so I left, and I played for like 2 or 3 other people, just acoustic guitar, never sang, never did anything. And then I came up to Nashville in like 2011, 2012 for the first time with the guy that I was playing guitar for, and I fell in love with it immediately. and obviously it's a lot different than what it is now. It was much smaller, and whatnot. And I didn't know anybody, and we didn't really socialize. That's not what it was for me. It was more or less just a vacation, honestly.
Yeah.
And anyways, I moved back home, and I was working for a booking agency, actually, kind of like an entertainment company, and I was doing teaching 4-year-olds how to tune guitars on the side, and stuff like that, and right out of school, and they needed me to cover a shift for somebody, and guess what? It happened to be at that Mellow Mushroom that I played the very first time, and I was scared to death because I knew how to play 100 songs on guitars for all those people, but I didn't know how to sing any of them. I didn't really know the words.
Yeah.
The songs were familiar, but I'd never done it by myself, and my boss basically was like, I'm going to fire you if you don't go do it, like trying to force me to do it and get me to get out of my comfort zone. And that was the greatest thing that anybody's ever done for me, honestly. And I went and played 6 songs over and over.
Do you remember
over
what
again.
6 songs?
I don't. I remember one of them was Old Red.
Okay.
I remember that. But I played the same 6 songs over and over again on a guitar that I had to borrow. But they gave me these tickets to give away for the festival that we were booking. And that's kind of where I feel like I excel as far as like interacting with people and whatnot. And I made it work. And a guy walked up to me after the show, and he was like, hey man, what are you doing on this day or whatever in a couple weeks? And I was like, I don't know, why? And he was like, my wife wants you to play her birthday party. And he was like, I'll pay you $500 to do it. And I was like, what?
Yes.
I went home. I sat there behind a computer for hours just learning song after song after song. And with that, kind of getting into that scene, and then you get curious about how people write and, how songs come about, and are they always really true or, whatever. And I got really curious about it and started just messing around with it, honestly. And I came back up here, and there was this very small publishing company that pitched me a song that was half finished, and it ended up being my very first single. And the song was called Get It Girl. It was the worst song ever. It just said Get It Girl. I'm not going to play that song.
Is it online
no,
for
it
people
is
to listen
not.
to? I bet you I can find it.
You can find it on YouTube, but
Okay.
that's it. Yeah. There's actually a pretty little risque lyric video that goes to it.
Oh.
A little silhouette of a girl dancing in the background,
Oh.
whatnot. But yeah, and so that song, obviously, because once you get your first song out, you're able to start booking more shows and whatnot. And I got back out playing by myself, and there's 2 different awards that are ran in the state of Georgia. One of them's the Georgia Country Music Awards, and one of them's just the Georgia Music Awards. And basically, so I got nominated. It's all done by nomination. You can't nominate yourself, whatever. And then once you get nominated, you're put on the initial ballot. I think the first one there was for the Georgia Country Music Awards. I didn't win 2 years in a row. I didn't even make it past there's multiple rounds. Yeah. And then they narrow it down to 5 or whatever, and then that's the final voting. And I actually made it in the final 5 the second year, and I went. Everybody thought I was gonna win. Boom, nothing happened. And so I got nominated for Male Artist of the Year for the Georgia Music Awards out of 160 guys, and I think I brought in a total combined from every round, we had over 600,000 votes, which you could vote, I think, one time a week or whatever.
Yeah.
But that was a really cool thing for me.
That's
and
crazy.
It was held at the Buckhead Theater in downtown Atlanta. And me and my parents and my little sister went up, and we sat there, and sure enough, it came around, and my face popped up on the screen. My song started playing. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I had too much to drink because I was scared to death, and I didn't think I was gonna win at all.
Yeah.
I literally was holding my phone up. I know people can't see me, but holding my phone up, videotaping, because it was Angie Ward from the Bull in Atlanta, which is huge, and she came out, and I've always remembered. She said, She opened it up and she laughed and she said, well, I think you guys can guess who this is. And then my song started playing and I was like, she's like, Nick Alligood. And I literally dropped my phone. Like, because I was sitting, and I started thinking about it. Why did I get sat in the front row? And then I was like, okay, yeah, they didn't want me walking from the middle trying to get through and whatnot.
Did you have to give a speech?
I did.
How was
it? Was
the speech?
terrible. I basically just like said, thank you, Mom. Thank you, God. Thank you, Angie. And like got off the stage and went back and started taking pictures. And then they misspelled my name on the award.
Oh no.
So that's was
funny.
And they were like, well, just give it back to me. And I wouldn't. I was like, I'm never going to get it back. I want this. So I still have it. It's in my studio right now.
Spelled wrong.
Aligood instead of two L's. But so when that happened, basically my parents, at the time I had a great job. This was 2 years down the road from the music place. And I was working for an energy operations company at a power plant with my dad. And I loved it. I was getting good at it. And my parents were like, you know what? Maybe music is actually not just a hobby. So try it. And we did. So I came up here. I literally quit my career and left my friends, my family, everything that I had known for the last, 23 years. And didn't move up immediately, but I bought a tour bus and a trailer and came up here, put together a band, and we went on a 3-week run, and I'd never been on the road before. Didn't know what the hell I was doing.
How'd you meet people to be in your band? How'd you convince them?
So they were from my last band, Highway 55.
Okay.
They moved up here. They were actually playing for J.J. Lawhorn at the time.
Okay.
And he kind of was slow, I guess, and whatnot, and they needed some work. And
you're like,
so I slept on their futon for like 3 months. And, and then finally we signed a lease together. We got a 3-bedroom, and I went from, living in Antioch in the most sketchy place ever to, now we're downtown and it's great. And it's been awesome. It's been a journey for sure. I mean, we've everywhere from that first song to the first time Chaser, which I would consider like my debut project. When that song, to see all 3 of those songs pop up on the country charts on iTunes, even though it's, it's not Billboard or whatever.
Right.
That was incredible to me.
Yeah.
And we sold in the first month all 50 states and 9 countries, and then now I think we're up to like 16 countries or something like that on it. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
And that just kept leading into things. And then my songwriting, I sat down and wrote a song with another fellow Georgia boy, and a year and a half later, it was on SiriusXM The Highway, and Trey Landon, and he just signed with Warner Brothers, and so his career is opening up, and I'm just kind of there, and that kind of helped me out on the songwriting side of things, and got a couple holds with major record labels now, and stuff like that, and I'm sitting here talking to you.
It's all coming together.
I know, that was kind of a long, drawn out, all over the place story, but
I like the whole story.
Cool.
When you're from Albany, and you used to, what is the sports bar you used to play there?
Coaches. How did you know that?
How did I know that? So funny. I went down there with another artist about 2 years ago.
Nestor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And played Coaches. And
I told him not to play it.
It was an experience.
No. I used to play solo acoustic there every Friday and Saturday. One of my really close friends owns it. Well, it's shut down now.
It's no more.
Yeah.
But we went. I mean, it was fun. It was a fun trip.
That's what Matt Gatch was with you.
Yeah, it was just us 3, and it was a fun trip. Like
I told him
there was no mic stands. There was no music stores that were open to buy anything.
Yeah,
so.
he was. Matt was on the phone with me.
Yeah.
I was trying to get some gear for you guys.
There was nothing. It was supposed to be full band. We showed up with 2 people.
Yeah, I mean,
it was just terrible.
And because who was it? Man, she's gonna kick me in the face for not. Her name is skipping right now. She worked with Nestor as well from Love Your Melon.
Yeah, Carrie.
Yeah, Carrie. Gosh, I'm sorry. If you're listening, Carrie, I'm sorry. She asked me about it, and I was like, I don't know. It's kind of like, it was cool for me 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's my friend's bar, so like I played it all the way until it shut down.
Yeah, I mean,
And I
it
made
wasn't
that
a bad
promise to him that
spot.
I'd play it no matter what. I never raised my price on him.
Yeah.
Never did anything like that. You know, we'd play for 10 times that an hour up the street, and then we'd come back and
Play that
and
one.
whatnot. But yeah, that was it was sad to see that place close for sure. That's kind of was
I was disappointed. I
the
wanted to
second
go back
bar
with
that-
more people.
right. It's an interesting. Albany is a very interesting town for sure. I mean, there's not a lot to do.
It was an interesting crowd that night.
Oh yeah.
It was very interesting. I was just kind of like.
That's why it kind of only worked for me as well as it did because I knew all of those people.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like when
They loved
that's
it, though.
only a local place, like I'd play solo acoustic and every table would be reserved before I ever got there. And you
Yeah.
know, but then again I'd try and somebody would be like, "Oh, I want to go play Albany," and I'd give them that contact and they'd show up and there'd either be nobody there or nobody'd pay attention to them.
I mean, it was
And I
an
was like, well,
engaged crowd that night.
It was.
We were
good.
asked back.
That's great.
We just didn't come back.
Yeah.
We just didn't-
Wayne, they didn't come back.
Poor Wayne. He was so nice. Do you want to play us one of your songs now?
I will, yeah.
Mm-mm.
Oh, man. Which one should I do first, Elle? You know
The boss
my
lady has
attention span,
spoken.
right?
You start with Take a Drive.
Sure. Let's do it. So like I was telling you earlier, I might be a little pitchy, scratchy how I played last night, but so this song is actually a song that I collaborated with Spencer.
Okay,
And
how'd you and Spencer meet when you got to Nashville?
social media.
For
That's
real?
how all of us have met. Everybody in town has
Wow.
met through social media. Actually, I take that back. Kind of through Tyler,
Okay.
but not really. So I was like one of the first people Tyler met when he moved to town, and we were both kind of getting conned by this lady at the time, and she set us up to write together. And she was like, "You need to teach this kid how to write." And I was thinking I was gonna get this like little 16-year-old kid from LA,
And you got
a grown
a
man,
man.
standing at my door, and he was like, "Hi, I'm Tyler." And I was like, "You're like my dad's age." I was like messing with him, and he was like, "This is gonna be a fun day." And so we just went up, we started writing, hanging out, and whatnot. And I think him and Spencer met through socials, and then the same thing. I saw Spencer around one day, and it was kind of like, "Hey, I follow you on Twitter. Hey, I follow you on Instagram," type thing. That's how all of us are. Like we literally meet like girls. Like a lot of. I always tell like funny stories about, you know, like guys like myself, Josh Phillips, Luke Combs, John Langston. All of us knew each other 8 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, like we were all kind of playing the same bars and doing stuff like that. Obviously, they've all taken off. And, you know, me and Josh used to talk on the phone for like 4 hours just talking about what we were going to do when we got to Nashville.
Yeah.
And all of that. And just to see all of us be doing as well as we are, you know, in a very short period of time is really cool because everything we did say that we wanted to do, we've been doing.
It's happening.
So.
Yeah, that's
it's
really
cool.
cool.
But yeah, so we put this song out actually a year ago, almost a year ago to the day, and it was the first time that I charted as well as I did, and I think we went into like 74 or something like that, and then we did top 200 in all genres.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I think we're Spotify is not my strong suit, but I think we're about to hit 100,000 on it on Spotify, and we're like 300,000 or something like that on Apple Music and whatnot. So, and this song is mainly just about. The reason I wanted to put it out is, yes, the song is about a truck. It's a country song,
Truck
but
song.
that's not why I wanted to do it. Growing up, I always had until I went off to college, I always had a rocky relationship with my family. Just we were always very stubborn and getting on to each other, and you know, I was really close with both of my parents, but we just, you know, I always needed my space. And when I turned 16, I was very blessed enough for my parents to, you know, bought me a vehicle, and I got a Jeep with the lift kit and the tires and everything, and that was my way. Like when I was upset about how I performed on the baseball field that night, or, you know, my grades, or, you know, if my mom was just making me mad, whatever, that was my way, was to just, we rode dirt roads. And so when this song became a possibility for me to cut, I knew it 100% that that's what I wanted to do, and that it was more of a personal thing for me, and to see the success behind it was just a added bonus, I think. So I'll play it for you. The song's called Take a Drive. Take another sip of this water here so I don't die. Lately life's been kicking my ass, can't seem to let go or forget the past. Tonight I'm headed nowhere fast. Whenever I need some therapy, I hop in my truck and I turn the key to get all of this insanity. When that Chevy hits 85, it's when I feel alive. Sunset sinking down, trying to clear my mind. Let that breeze roll in, wash away my sins. Baptized by the road, trying to start again. Freedom in the passenger seat, surf bumping to a country beat. Rolling on for miles on these old mud tires. But tonight I'm gonna take a drive. Yeah, my foot on the gas and hands on the wheel. All my troubles in the rear view disappear as I breathe in this South Georgia atmosphere. My shades on and the world turned down as I'm cruising through this map dot small town. Been lost, but tonight I'm getting found. 'Cause when that Chevy hits 85, it's when I feel alive. Sunset sinking down, trying to clear my mind. Let that breeze roll in, wash away my sins. Baptized by the road, trying to start again. Freedom in the passenger seat, surf bumping to a country beat. I'm rolling on for miles on these old mud tires. But tonight I'm gonna take a drive. Whenever I need some therapy, I hop in the truck and I turn the key. 'Cause when that Chevy hits 85, it's when I feel alive. Sunset sinking down, trying to clear my mind. Let that breeze roll in, wash away my sins. Baptized by the road, trying to start again. Freedom in the passenger seat, surf bumping to a country beat. Rolling on for miles on these old mud tires. 'Cause tonight I'm gonna take a drive. Tonight I'm gonna take a drive. Tonight I'm gonna take a drive.
Woo!
Gonna take a drive.
What are your favorite places to drive to now?
Right now?
Yeah, right now.
So.
Or like when you're on tour, where do you like to drive through?
Oh, out on the road. I thought you meant around
Anywhere,
Nashville.
or here.
Here is the backside of Brentwood, Franklin area.
Mm-hmm.
I lived out in Franklin after Antioch before I moved into downtown, and the only way, being from a small town, and that was the only place that I'd ever driven.
Yeah.
Honestly, you know, I'd done a couple road trips down to the beach and, you know, stuff like that, but that was the only area that I knew. So when I moved up here, the 440 loop situation, that is not even that wasn't cool.
I can't even figure things out still. I've been here for 6 years almost.
Yeah.
And where I'm from, it's just straight interstates. They don't loop around. And also when I go home now, I'm not used to driving in the dark.
Oh, yeah.
I can't see at night anymore. I'm like, where's the road?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of like the only way that I could learn how to get around was to not use my GPS because I was so dependent on my GPS. Well, I got lost like in the deep part of Franklin one time, and I had no idea where I was at, and it's just absolutely beautiful out there. It's all country, great huge farmhouses, and livestock and all that good stuff, and so that's probably my favorite area around here. On the road, as far as traveling, if I'm not driving, I like going through Kansas because there's nothing that my guys can hit or anything. Gosh. It's just there's windmills, and you're on the same road for like 6 hours.
Yeah.
And that's it. And it's peaceful, and I can sleep in the van or the bus or whatever we're doing. As if I'm driving, any city that we go through, I'm always like, do not text and drive, do not use your phone and drive. But I'm always trying to
like Instagram
get shots of, like when we're going through St. Louis, trying to get the arch or, whatever. Denver's pretty cool area and whatnot. But, I'd rather be the one driving.
Yeah.
And that's what I do. I mean, if we have a 14-hour haul up to Iowa or something like that, I usually knock it out myself. And then that way, after the show and the next morning, after doing whatever we do after the show, I don't have to drive the 14 hours back.
Home.
And none of my guys have caught on to that yet.
They're
until
going
this.
to.
Yeah.
They're going to.
I just kind of got myself there. But, so that's my driving situation.
What kind of car do you drive now?
So I had to sell my truck 2 years ago to make that move. I was struggling really bad financially, and everybody, they're like the Jason Aldean song, one year they repossess your truck. Yep, they were coming for it.
Oh.
And I had a really nice truck that was my baby, and put all my life savings into it essentially, and I traded it in for my van so that we could tour and all that good stuff. So right now I have my secondary car, which is a Chrysler 300.
I was hoping you only drove a van.
No way.
I was so hoping
Stop.
you only drove a van.
For the benefit of yourself only, were you hoping that I drove a van?
We've had multiple guests who drive their vans.
Yeah.
And
No, actually, the first time I ever saw Jordan Walker
Yeah.
from Walker McGuire, he was driving a red 15-passenger van.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just only have your van.
I know, right? Well, and
You
that
gotta
was
pick
the
up
thing.
your
My dad was
girl for a
like,
date, and you're like, get in the van.
my dad was like, oh no, I would 100% Uber before I'd pulled up in my tour van.
Hey.
But that was kind of the deciding factor. My dad was like, you can't live like you used to. You can't afford a $700 truck payment anymore. And,
Yeah.
and he was like, it's time to grow up or come home.
Yeah.
And so I made that decision. And, like I said, I lived in really sketchy places. I lived on couches and stuff like that in the beginning. And I'd rather, and I know this sounds bad, and I always have to intro it like this, but like, I'd rather spend my money to go out to the bars because that's where I met everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I met every single good contact that I have to this day.
Out at a bar.
90% of the time I met at Losers.
At Losers.
Yeah. Now, also something else my dad always used to say, he's like, you can't afford to go to the bar. And I was like, I can afford not to.
You can always afford to go to the bar.
Yeah, and that was the thing. Like, I'd be like, you know what? I don't have to eat today.
We'll go to the bar.
I'll go buy a bucket of beer and just make a bucket of beer last. Well, if you don't eat all day, a bucket of beer just get you drunk. And then guess what you do? Then you start swiping the credit cards.
I have that problem. I was just telling someone the other day, I'm like, I think I'm finally over that whole you go out thing, drink too much, and then I spend $200 a night. And the girl looks at me, she's like, you've done that? I'm like,
oh, no, I do that on a Tuesday night.
I mean, all the time. Another girl's like, yeah, I've known Jenna for 5 years. She definitely thinks she is a millionaire when she's drunk at the bar.
Yeah, right.
Like, I do.
I'm just nice to everybody.
I just want
If you're with me, I'm like, what do you
everyone to have a
want?
good time.
Don't worry about it. Or I have the good intentions to be like, I'll buy a round, you buy a round, and then but you're just drinking and you don't think about it, and the next thing you know, you've bought 6 of them. You're
Yeah.
like, you get home, you're laying in the bed at 7 o'clock in the morning, you're like, no.
Get a low balance on my account. I'm
What?
like, no. I think I've gotten better. I think I've grown up a little bit, maybe.
A little bit. I'm trying. I'm 28 years old, and I feel like I grow up a little bit more every day.
I'm getting there. All right. Do you want to play us a second song?
Yeah. Which one did you say? Okay. All right, so this is my
We're taking requests in here right now.
right. So this is by far, hands down, my favorite song I've ever written in my life.
Is it
And
out?
no, it's not. It's
Okay.
unreleased. This is actually the first time anybody's ever heard this song.
Inside the Noize exclusive.
Yeah.
We're gonna cut it out, release it for you. I'm just
No,
kidding.
no, please don't do that. I think I have plans to. I'd like to at some point on this next project.
Yeah.
So backstory on it, April 29th, 2017, this past year, I lost my best friend in Iraq, and I was actually on the road with Walker McGuire. We were in Dubuque, Iowa, at a casino show, and I woke up. We were out drinking all night and whatnot, and my girlfriend was on the road with me to sell merch, and I woke up out of nowhere. We didn't go to bed till like 5, and for some reason I woke up at like 7:30, and it was the first thing that I saw on Facebook. One of our really close friends is basically like Weston's brother, and just the post, and I freaked out. Actually threw my phone through the drywall of the hotel room, and
Oh my gosh.
yeah, it was a bad situation. And then on top of that, find out that you lose your best friend like that.
Yeah.
Then I had a 16-hour drive home, and that was terrible. And I had a lot of time to think about stuff, and I went into the room with some of my buddies and was like, "This is what's weighing on my heart today, and if you don't want to write it, you can leave." Basically, like, not be whatever, but this is what I want to write, and I think that you guys want to be a part of this. I promise. And we did, and wrote the song with AJ Gadio and Big Vinnie Mac, and it's, like I said, it's 100%. It represents our friendship and everything, and just kind of that, no matter what, even though he's gone, I still got him type thing. So this song's called "A Lot of Drinking Left to Do." Didn't want you to sign up, but you did anyways. Yeah, we all saw it coming. That don't ease the pain, and let me tell you the truth. I'm the one that's shaking in my boots. Yeah, one more night together before you take that plane. Let's make it one to remember. Huh. Maybe one we can't, but the first round's on you. We've got a lot of drinking left to do. So let's set 'em up and knock 'em down. Call ass, call bluff till they kick us out. While you're gone, I'll be sitting right here. You're just ordering up drinks for two. Got a seat right here, saved for you. It's just a little bit of time we're gonna lose. So hurry back, 'cause I'm here waiting, and we still got a lot of drinking left to do. Yeah, you've always been my hero, the one that saved the day. From that bully on the playground to the night we took home state. But let me tell you the truth, you're only human, brother, you ain't bulletproof. So let's set 'em up and knock 'em down. Call ass, call bluff till they kick us out. While you're gone, I'll be sitting right here. You're just ordering up drinks for two. Got a seat right here, saved for you. Just a little bit of time we're gonna lose. So hurry back, 'cause I'm here waiting, and we still got a lot of drinking left to do. Left to do. But If you're reading this, then push my bar stool in until we meet again. So I'm gonna set 'em up and knock 'em down. Call bluff till they kick me out. You might be gone, but I'm still sitting right here. Yeah, just ordering up drinks for two. Seat next to me, still safe for you. It's just a little more time we're gonna lose. Yeah, I know you're up there waiting, but we still got a lot of drinking left to do. Thank you.
Have you played that out anywhere, or have you?
I played it at 2 writers' rounds. Yeah.
How was the response from the crowd?
I saw a lady cry.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, you probably have the whole crowd in tears.
I almost just did. I was tearing up just
Like-
doing it.
Oh, have you played it for other family or friends?
Oh, yeah. I haven't played it. So every year I do a big July 4th show that I do back home, and I've been doing it. I think this was year 5. Yeah. And so they all come out, and we dedicate a song to them. But I wasn't quite ready to drop that bomb there, and I didn't really feel like it was the time or the place to do it, more or less. And but I mean, we've played it at some publishing houses and stuff, and we got a pretty good response from it. So definitely excited to get it out and to see what a producer can do with what I actually hear in my head for the song. You know what I mean?
Man, that blows my mind, the way like a producer thinks and the way you guys are able to communicate and get what you want at the end.
Well, it's crazy, like the connection between an artist and a producer. You can tell in a song. I mean, my first song, you can tell that we didn't really know what we were doing. You know what I mean? But more or less now, when I go into a studio or whatever, I know what I want it to sound like already, because it's when I write. That's what I love about country music, is there is a story. And there's story and plots and whatnot behind pop music and hip hop, but you can't physically picture it happening. You kind of have to like sit there and decipher the code and be like, oh, they're talking about, struggling with drugs or something, well, like a country song, just say it,
right?
It just comes out and it's like, here you go. And so what I like to do when I write is I pick my topic and what I'm feeling, and then I literally write a music video. And that's kind of my process, and I just go through, and I know that, hey, this song shouldn't be, obviously this song's not going to be huge, loud drums and electric guitar and, all that good stuff. And it's, this is the type of song that's about the lyrics. And you don't need that kind of stuff. And we did the same thing with the song I put out, my last release, actually, Boots and Bible. And that song was about my grandfather, it's really about just losing people in general. And that's what we decided to do, strip it down and focus it more on the lyrics and why it was written. And but I knew what I wanted that song to sound like when I went in there. And so when that person can take what's inside of your head, even though I'm not the best at explaining it, because what's in my head and what I say to you can be totally different in how you interpret it. And that's why I like to be there. A lot of guys, they're cool with, they submit their demo or whatever they did, and they weren't even there for the demo, and then they come in and all they got to do is lay down their vocals and whatnot. Some guys get heavy into it and actually co-produce the albums and stuff, and that's what I like to do, is be hands-on. In that way, I'd rather, for one, it's more efficient. You can, if he starts doing something you don't like, you can say no, instead of 5 days later you get a mix, and all of a sudden you come back and you're like, that's terrible. Why did you think that was cool? Whatever. And so I think it's overall just what works best for me. But,
And with this new song you have coming out.
What about it?
You made a face like,
no, I was just waiting for the question.
Were you hands-on?
Yeah,
Co-producing
and what's
that?
really cool is my friend produced it, Sid Menon. He played bass guitar for Chris Lane for like 7 years, something like that. And we're really close friends. And he decided, I guess when he left Chris and the guys, that he was gonna go to the production route, and that's what he wanted to do. And I was stoked about it because there's nothing cooler than getting to work with the people that you hang out with and that you care about and stuff. And we actually did it in a home studio in his apartment downtown. And like when people hear it, they're like, nah, where'd you record that at? Like whatever. And it's because we put the time in and whatnot. And he's incredible. He did it all by himself. Like, well, me and him together, it was, we did not hire session players. We didn't hire nothing. We did everything ourselves. So it's really cool. And I was very proud of, what he was able to give me and what we did to make the song come alive. And it's kind of a fitting song to release in my personal life. So I was excited to get it out, and it's been up for pre-order now for 24 hours.
24 hours.
Yeah. So we're excited about it and seeing what we can do with it.
Do you want to just play it right now?
Sure. Let's
All
knock
right.
it out. I wrote this song with Chris Yarber from over at Warner, and we came into the room, and I immediately just got this. It was my first time ever writing over there, and that's a scary part of the writing world when a creative director or whoever you go meet with at these publishing houses and stuff, when they set you up with one of their writers, that's the ultimate test. Like, they're like, all right, let's see if you've really been writing these songs, or if you've been sitting in rooms with people who've been writing these songs, which that's a thing.
That is
believe
a
it or
thing.
not, that is a really big thing. And so it's just nerve-wracking. And, for somebody that's with a company like Warner Chappell and seeing, this music and walking in and seeing 65 platinum records and, gold records and all this stuff in the room that I'm writing, I was like, oh, God. But the first thing I saw was this Blake Shelton plaque for Honeybee.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of vibe just got stuck in my head. And we knocked it out relatively quick. And it just kind of sat there, and we were pitching it and whatnot. And nothing as cool as what I thought was going to happen happened. And when I joined with Ellen, my manager now, she listened to it and she was like, yeah, that's you. So let's go. And it was cool for me because I think this song is more me vocally and not trying to do what people have kind of, for lack of a better word, I don't like the word sellout, like the term sellout. I think that's BS. That's a business term that should never be brought into music, in my opinion. But just what other people wanted me to sound like, and how I've changed so much over the past 6 years of being an artist, and especially as a songwriter and whatnot. So I'm excited about this one, and it's just about basically how alcohol does not help get rid of your ex-girlfriend.
Oh, no.
Yeah. How it can, but most of the times what's it end up doing? It makes you think about things and whatnot. So it's very fitting for me. Yeah. So this song's called Drinkin You Back. It's like this bar stool is some kind of time machine, 'cause every shot I shoot, it takes me back to you. And these damn neons ain't helping me move on. The jukebox just keeps playing our song. Maybe I'm just buzzing, but there's something crazy running through my head. It's true, she looks a lot like you, sipping vodka and cranberry, writing our obituary. It's been real, it's been fun, but it ain't been real fun. I'm doing my best to thank you into the past, but I just keep drinking you back. I thought Jack, Jim, and Jameson were my friends. Man, screw those guys. Maybe I should try something stronger to keep you gone longer, 'cause I can't take another night like this. I wish I could forget. Maybe I'm just buzzing, but there's something crazy running through my head. It's true, she looks a lot like you, sipping vodka and cranberry, writing our obituary. It's been fun, but it ain't been real fun. I'm doing my best to thank you into the past, but I just keep drinking you back. Yeah, baby, I keep drinking you back. Well, maybe I'm just buzzing, but there's something crazy running through my head. It's true, she looks a lot like you, sipping vodka and cranberry, writing our obituary. It's been fun, but it ain't been real fun. I'm doing my best to thank you into the past, but I just keep drinking you back. Baby, I keep drinking you back. It's like this bar stool is some kind of time machine, 'cause every shot I shoot, it takes me back to you.
I definitely think that's one everyone can relate to. I said this on a different podcast. My mom just listened last week, and she was so disappointed in me. I saw her this weekend.
My mom's always disappointed in me. I'm just fine.
Since I started this podcast, she was like, I would know way too much about your life. And I'm like, just stop listening, man.
Right.
Like, just stop. But
Please.
she listened, and it was after a Sunday fun day. I'm really into Sunday fun days.
Yeah?
Mostly because I don't work on Mondays usually.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm not like a normal person who works 9 to 5. I
Yeah.
have to go out on Sundays because I don't work Mondays. And it's my only day off.
See, Mondays are my Sundays. Or Saturdays, technically. Yeah. So if I come off the road,
Oh, yeah.
I have to play Monday night, so I can't go out Sunday, really.
Yeah.
I do, don't get me wrong, but I should not.
You-
Yeah, there you go.
You should not. But I told her, I said on the podcast, I was like drunk downtown, and star 67, it still works, guys. Star 67
Really?
is still a thing. Star 67, my ex, and called him because I've been drinking all day, and I'm like, when is this gonna stop?
Yeah, it doesn't. It should.
It'll stop.
It stops.
Maybe
No,
one day.
I've only had one instance, so I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, he answered the phone and said, Jenna, I know this is you. I said, dang it.
That's the best. It's
I
like,
tried to play it. I'm like, well, hey, how you doing?
or just be like, what? He knows right off the bat.
What? Yeah. Not my proudest moment. This is going to lead us into off-the-record confessions.
Okay.
So this is where you confess something weird or embarrassing, and it's technically off the record.
Oh, yeah, I saw this on the email. I meant to go back and prep myself for this,
You're
and I
supposed to be
didn't.
prepped. No, I'm just kidding.
Weird or embarrassing? Like,
I'll go
just
first.
personally or
Yeah, anything.
musically?
Like,
One of the most embarrassing moments of my entire life
Okay.
was on stage at the Grizzly Rose in Denver, Colorado.
What happened?
We went out. They do like a you play for 6 nights type thing.
Yeah.
And Friday night we were playing with Eric Pasley though, and Saturday we were with Jared Neiman. So we were really excited. It was a huge weekend for me being on the road, and my dad even flew him and my mom out because it was that was the first time I'd ever been a part of something like that. And the Grizzly Rose is just one of the most iconic venues in the country, honestly.
Yeah.
And I think it's like 60,000 square feet or something. Like, it's crazy. It holds like 4,000 people. But anyways, so when you come in there, basically what you do on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, it's all about line dancing. Well, I play like top 40 country stuff. And so they did tell me, like, before I came out there, like, look, you need to up your set list on stuff that people can dance to. You even need to add some stuff that they can do waltzes and whatnot, because what they do before you get on stage on Tuesday and Wednesday, they have a line dancing class, and then it runs into your first set,
So you gotta
which
play
is like
songs
the
they can
worst thing I've ever been a part of in my entire life. But so, and then so Tuesday and Wednesday went fine, whatever. Well, Thursday is ladies' night, and there's like 2,000 people in there, and they're in front of the stage ready to dance, right? So on the way out there, this is when we still had the bus, and we were discussing everything on some good songs that we should add, because we had like on the bus it was like 22 hours or something like that to get out there. And so we're all sitting down and we're talking about it, and we're like Copperhead Road, and I was like, man, I haven't even heard that song forever, whatever. Well, I didn't learn the lyrics like I should have. And I learned them, but like you put into play being in front of 2,000 people and not being comfortable with the song, and all sorts of stuff can go bad really fast. So anyways, we're up there and we walk up, the song starts going to town, and everybody's, got in-ears and stuff. So I run back to the talkback mic and I'm like, what is the first lyric? Something happened and the talkback mic wasn't on and nobody could hear me. So I'm just stuck. And this is not a small stage. I mean, this is like my guitar player's 25 feet to the left of me, 30 feet to the left of me, whatever. So I'm like, I don't want to, this is embarrassing. I was like, it'll come to me as the verse pops up. Did not. And I froze. And not only did I freeze, I went into like a serious panic attack. And I turned around and walked off the backside of the stage to like gather myself, because there's like a curtain.
Yeah.
And so the band just played, they were doing the line dance for like 5 minutes. And I just came back out and I was like, I'm so sorry. And everybody was just like clapping and like, whatever, trying to make me feel better. And we went back out and finished the gig and everything was great and
Did you finish the
whatnot.
song?
No, I did not sing a single word. Not one.
Oh.
And it's, well, my name's John Lee Pettymore. That's all I needed to know. And it would have clicked, but I couldn't.
You couldn't
I
get that
just
first
couldn't.
line.
And I freaked out. And like, when you feel like you're blushing?
Yeah.
Like, it. And then so that makes you more paranoid. So you're like, they're looking at me and they know I'm embarrassed now. And then like my eyes start watering when I get really, really nervous.
I used to cry giving public speeches.
And I'm like,
all the time.
I'm like sitting there. I'm like, oh my God, somebody help me. Like, yeah, my band just left me hanging too. And I was like, God. So that's the most embarrassing moment of my life.
Oh,
for sure.
no good. That's off the record, though, so it's okay. Off the record confessions. All right, I think we're going to wrap it up.
Okay, cool. Thank you for having me.
Where can everyone follow you?
So Instagram is just my name, at Nick Alligood. And then Twitter is Nick_Alligood. And then, of course, Facebook, you can find. Actually, I've been directing people to my personal as well, but I have my personal and my music page.
Yeah, so
Both accounts have a blue check next to it, so those are me. There's only, I think I've only had like 2 people on Facebook do the whole try to be
I'm
an
gonna be you
imposter
now the
type
next
thing.
few. After Spencer came on and said that, every time he like posts on his story, I'm like, haha, me again.
Yeah.
He's like, get out of here.
That's it seems like people are doing that more and more, and they're creating scams.
Yeah.
Like where they'll be like, hey, I'm trying to put out this new album. Can you send me $100,000?
Like, yeah, sure.
Or they'll be like, can you send me a $20 Applebee's gift card? Like
Like,
weird stuff. And you're like, dude, you're going to try and steal money from my fans. Like,
be a little
come
more
on.
smart about it.
But yeah, so check that out, nickalligood.com. And of course, go pre-order my new single.
Pre-order, and then this lasts forever. So once it comes out, go listen to it.
Yes,
stream
once it comes
download
out,
it.
August 17th, it's live and ready to go. So we're super excited about that. And check out my other music as well. I feel like I got some pretty good stuff for everybody to listen to.
Pretty good stuff. All right, thank you for coming on.
It's been a blast.
Thanks.
See you, bye.
That's it.